Hey guys, it's BlazeWolf. I'm back from hiatus for, I think it's been a couple years now. I just been busy working and a few other things. I haven't stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh though. I've just haven't been able to post it. Just been too busy to record. But I thought I should show you guys this. This is the deck that I've been playing for the last couple months now. This is Punk Eldlich Adventure Synchro. This is the 60 card deck I like to call P.E.A.S. Some people make fun of me for it, but I love the name for it. With it is a combo deck. I enjoy playing it with a passion right now, so we'll get right into it. I was first place, like I said, at my locals. I was originally going to take this to YCS, but I was sick through it, and unfortunately I couldn't go. That would have been going to YCS Niagara Falls, which I love going to Niagara Falls. If you guys don't know, I'm actually from Canada. It's only actually like an hour and a half away from where I live, so I usually go down there for a break. But we'll get enough about me. We'll get right into the deck profile. So like I said, Punk Eldlich Adventure Synchro. We'll start off with the Punk. It is 3 Foxy Tune, 2 Xiamen, 1 Deerno, and then 3 Emergency Teleports. This makes the end board. It's not needed, but it does make the end board a lot better. It's a lot more consistent. I enjoy playing the package. I got the package before Foxy Tunes jumped up, and then E-Tellies. I've been playing E-Tellies for now since they came off the list, mainly when I was playing PK. The next package I play, like I said, is Eldlich. We play 2 Golden Lord, 3 Curse Outland, 2 Sanguine, 2 Conch, and 1 Hawkwero. I personally love this ratio. I was playing it with 3 Sanguine, 3 Conch, with 1 Golden Lord, then I put 2 Golden Lord. This, for me, is the golden ratio for the Eldlich stuff. If you'd want, you could cut this card here, and a few others if you want to play Small World to add consistency. But honestly, I love playing this card. I also do play the Souls package, so popping this just makes the combo a lot better. Besides that, this engine of the deck gives the rest of the deck a backbone to fall on if your opponents start hand trapping you and all that. As well, it allows you to play under Dark Ruler, because you play Hot Red in this deck, and with the traps you can just chain the trap to Dark Ruler no more, then chain Hot Red to the trap, and then target Dark Ruler no more to negate it, and then the rest of your deck is untouched, which is so nice. But like I said, I wouldn't change this ratio. I'm enjoying this ratio so much. And now it's to my favorite engine of the deck, is the Adventure package. So it's 3 Water Enchantress, 1 Wandering Griffin, 3 Rite of Asmir, 1 Faithful, and, well, not and, but Dragoback, and then finally Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial will always be an Adventure package card until the Adventure package gets banned, just because this is another Water Enchantress, which therefore it's another Rite of Asmir. This engine is my favorite engine. Since it came out, I've been playing it. I love it. It is so free. If you're playing a newer player, they use all of their hand traps to stop this, which just makes it free. The next engine, it's a small 1-card engine that goes towards the synchros. Is a Sangan, 3 Sangan, and a Borea. This can just start a whole combo. Normally your end board ends with a Hulk and a Dagda. This allows you to go through it using Anima and Almirage as well, but this is literally a 1-card combo. All you need is an extra card in your hand to discard. It can be ashed on Sangan and the Helk, especially if you're only playing this engine at the moment. If you draw into this and let's say your bricks of the deck, which there really is not too many, but yeah, great 1-card engine. Then you play for your tuners 1 Jet Synchron, and then the Rose Dragon package with 1 red, 1 Rocks Rose, and 1 Basil Rose shoot. This can also be set for Dark Ruler No More, so you can play around it as well, especially in this format with it being a tier element and sprite format. Everyone's playing Dark Ruler No More, at least majority of the people are. This and the Eldlich package just allows you to play under it. If you did not have it, it stops your plays. Then we'll move on to the Souls package. So I play 2 Magician Souls, 1 pre-prep, and then 2 Illusion of Chaos. This pre-prep should be on the other Souls. Unfortunately, I do not have one. So this is the next best thing in my opinion, or another Illusion of Chaos. I would rather play this instead of another Illusion of Chaos, because if you open this, let's say you've already done this, and you opened up another Illusion of Chaos, it's dead. I mean, it's the same thing with Souls, but Souls is still a normal summon monster that can still go through your plays, where this, all this is, if you don't have this in your hand or deck, this is just discard fodder. It does nothing else in your deck, so that's why I rather play prep instead of another Illusion of Chaos. But like I said, this should be another Souls. With all your counter spells, well, not counter spells, but continuous spells and traps. This is your draw package, and it's really needed. I would say if you did not have it, this deck does clog up sometimes, and this just helps unclog it. It also adds a little bit more consistency, like I said. Another thing that you could do, like I said, if you wanted to cut a card, you could cut a pre-prep and add Small World for consistency as well. You can play that. I prefer not to, just because it's a great card, but it just doesn't work as it wants to work in the deck. With it, it allows you to do certain plays, but at the same time, if you do not play that card properly in this deck, it will destroy the deck. So that's why I don't play Small World. If you're used to playing Small World, play it. It's great in this deck. It's just, it does not work as well when I'm playing it for some reason. The remainder of the monsters that I play that aren't hand traps is 1 Snow and 1 Scythe. Snow can be sent off of Shooting Riser, as well as Foolish or Mild, which is really good. And this just adds another interaction in your deck, which is amazing. As well, it's a spellcaster, so with Celine and stuff, it just is amazing. Then Scythe, I'll be playing Scythe until it gets banned. I believe it should get banned, but if it doesn't, I'll still be playing it, unfortunately. Then to the hand traps, I play 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 DD Crow. The most controversy part, I would say, I play 3 Nibiru. I'm only saying controversy right now for the format that we're in. It's not the best against sprites or tier elements, especially if you're playing against a good player. If you're playing against a newer player or a player that's just not as experienced, this is a below card. Especially going first, because not a lot of people are expecting to see this. When they see it, they start fearing it, because they now have to either make sure they have Toad or Gigantic, or stop before their 5th summon, or even get a Winda. This just makes your opponent play into it more if you see it, or fear it and their board isn't as big, which is always nice. Then finally, for the last 4 cards in the deck, I play 2 Ghost Ogres and 2 Imperms. You can cut this, like you can cut one of these to play a 3rd of either or. Then you can cut, like I said, the pre-prep and the Curse Eldland and play 3 Small World if you want to. But for me testing this deck, I've been play testing this deck for a few months now. Pretty much since the note came out, I've been play testing this deck. This, I would say, is the best hand trap line out there right now, especially for this format. Ghost Ogre is really good. It can be great against Sprite sometimes, or Tier Elements, but at the same time against other decks it's just not the best at the moment, especially when you don't see the adventure package being played as much. Imperm, kind of the same thing. I love playing Imperm. I'll always try to find room for Imperm, especially for the fact that if your opponent, I mean, you can't really, because it says your opponent's cards, but it just adds a little bit more insurance that you're going to be able to play, especially if you're going first. You can just set the Imperm and keep going, and it just adds either a bluff for, well, I mean, not really a bluff. Your opponent thinks this is either going to be an Eldlich card, so they're either going to try to play around it, but with it being a trap, it just helps out the deck. If you don't need to play it, you can just send it off, which is fine. Same with Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre, I would say, is a little bit better in the deck, just because it's a tuner. Same with Valor and Ash. It just adds to your combos. It's also level 3, which helps. But like I said, I wouldn't change really any ratios in the hand trap line unless you do want to play Small World or play Droplets or anything like that. Like I said, I'll either cut one of these to make it into a 3rd copy of either or, and then play either, if you want to main deck Droplet, you can main deck Small World, add a couple more 1-ofs. It's your decision. This is what works for me. Then we'll now move on to the extra deck, which the extra deck I honestly would not change. I play Hulk and Dagda. These are usually your end board, especially right now because this is Scythe Lock. This is Scythe Lock, and it allows you to do it on your turn. Not on your turn, but on your opponent's turn, which is really good. Then for the remainder of the links, play 1 Almirage, 1 Anima, a Dark, a Lina, Celine, and Access Code. Pretty much this right here is meant for Access Code. This is meant for Scythe Lock. Mainly, you can still combo off and do a few things, like Lina and Dark can be put into this kind of section, really, if your opponent has a Valor and you don't have a tuner in your hand at the moment. These can start this play, but really they're meant to allow you to go into Access Code if you've already gone using your Hulk, which is amazing. I was playtesting Cherubini in it originally, because it just allowed you to send Water Enchantress, but unfortunately it just wasn't as good. Mainly, you don't see 2 level 3s on the field, at least in this deck, so it just kind of clogged up. I was also playtesting Vampire Zombie. Vampire Zombie was really good when Tier Elements and Sprite weren't a thing. The format before I swapped that out for Chen Wing. That's in my synchros for it, and it was amazing. But I lost more games because my opponent milled cards that activate engrave off of it, so I just cut it. I think I lost like a total of 3 games with me playtesting because of Vampire Zombie. It was just not optimal at that point, so I cut that as well. To the synchros, 1 Wonder Magician and 1 Shooting Razor. These are your fodder for Hulk. Mainly you send this, you use this to send snow on your turn. Then this is what does your Scythe Lock. So pretty much you, at your opponent's main phase, if they do anything or they're trying to go into battle, pretty much you tag out Hulk, chain Dagda, Dagda will set Scythe, then Hulk will summon this, this will then pop Scythe, Scythe will hit Grave, then Scythe effect will special summon itself, and then if your opponent tries to respond to Scythe, or your opponent lets it resolve on resolution, or chaining towards your opponent's card, you tag it out and sync to Baron de Fleur or Chen Wing, depending on the board that you have, which is nice. It's also a weird combo that this does. On how it resolves is a little weird, if you're especially if you're facing Exo Sisters and a few other things. It resolves a little bit differently, so you might have to call a judge occasionally just to figure it out if you're a newer player. Then the rest of the synchros, you play Chaos Ruler. This is what allows you to mill. It's also an extender, which allows you to also get into Hot Red. Hot Red is easily the MVP of the deck. It just allows you to play Underdark Ruler, which your opponent will attempt to play against you 100%, just because your end board is that ridiculous. And if they shotgun Dark Ruler no more and you do not have this on field, you cry. Just because it just stops all of your line of play, your negates. The only thing it does not stop is the Eldlich package per se, which is fine, and that's kind of the big reason why I play the Eldlich package. Like I said, it does give the backbone to the deck, but as well with Hot Red, it allows you to dodge Dark Ruler no more. For the remainder synchros, you play Chen Wing. If you already have Baron de Fleur on your starting turn, so this will allow you to tag out Scythe and 1 Magician to go into, which is very nice. Against tier elements is also very good because you have snow and you can activate this effect at any time. It also is just a big threat on board. Even if your opponent doesn't banish cards, you will still have a hefty banish pile, so this will get big and make all your opponent's monsters small. Then you play the 1 Baron de Fleur. Great card. Yeah, that's all I can really say about that. Is just a really solid card, and honestly, this helped me win my locals is Psychic and Punisher. I end up against the Danger tier element deck. My board was very weird. This was my quick effect sync, and I also had a snow engrave as well because they outed my Hulk. I was able to take this out with the snow in my grave, which I special summoned, and I went into this. This was just, this is a blowout card. Just because your opponent can't affect it, and yeah, it's unaffected by your opponent's card effects, and you are usually lower than your opponent in life points, just because you have to pay 600 off of Z-Ammon and 800 off of Eldland. So that will make this unaffected. As well, the banish effect is amazing, but also the battle phase effect to gain the attack difference is phenomenal. This card gets big fast, and so with that also being unaffected by your opponent's card effects, your opponent can't really deal with this. Against the Danger Teal Armor, all my opponent had was Gizmek Engrave at one point. So all we did, we took a couple turns, and it was just attack, swing, heal chain, Gizmek to block this. And at that point, my opponent just could not recover, and my opponent only had like 5 cards left in deck anyway. But yeah, blowout card. Like I said, I would not change my ratios too much in my deck anymore, because like I said, I was in playing in this deck for, I would say, like at least 3 months. My side deck was mainly towards going to the YCS, but like I said, I couldn't go because I was sick, but I didn't have time to change it. So for that, I played 1 token collector for the adventure package. Then I played 3 Dark World No More for the spells. Yet, like I said, blowout card. If you're going against the elements or Sprite, just an amazing card. Then 3 Cosmic Cyclones and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, just for back row decks. If your opponent pulls anti-spell, it hurts a little bit. Or a solemn, like it's just a blowout card. Like, these are just so good. If you're going second, as well, I play 3 Evenly Match, 3 anti-spell, and 1 red reboot. Kind of just for the same thing if you're facing back row decks, or your opponent has a decent enough board. These are really good. This really is the only going first card I have. Mainly if I'm going first and I'm facing against sprites or stuff, I can take this out for Nibiru, or this out for Nibiru, or this out for Nibiru, and feel comfortable against Sprite. But that's my deck for you guys. Like I said, I was first place with it. I am loving playing this deck. I wouldn't change anything in the deck. Like I said, you can, if you'd like, you can play Droplets, Small World, or a few other things. For the side deck, I would side according to your locals or any tournament that you're going to. You do not have to copy my side deck. My side deck was just what I thought I was going to face. This deck has a great matchup against rogue decks. If they're not playing too many spells and traps like back row, but that's why I made my side, just because my main deck is so good against tier elements and sprites that I don't need to side in so many cards. But if I'm facing a back row deck, then I need to take stuff out, like I said, so that I wouldn't change my side deck too much for me, but side deck to according to your locals or whatever tournament you're going to. Thanks guys for taking a look at my deck, and peace out.